popping your balloon?
I'm gonna be nice about it.
Don't be nice.
This is as nice as it's gonna get. So basically, I don't like someone who's based on like image, like he said the wig thing, but you have on a tight shirt and tight pants. So it's like if you're gonna talk about someone else's image, you should look at your own image. But I feel like for you to be so aesthetically focused, you should also be aesthetically pleasing.
I feel you.
Gym, that's all I'm gonna say to you. Don't be talking about wigs and you need to go to the gym.
Hey, I done lost a little weight, man. It's okay. It's cool.
That's what I'm saying. You worry about wigs, you should be worried about the gym and the diet and other things like that. I just
feel
feel
you.
like, once again, if you're going to be focused on aesthetics, you should be aesthetically pleasing.
That's cool.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Y'all already know the vibes. Yo, we got Chi back for another interview, invited back on the podcast, who had that viral moment that I shared early in the video, bro. I feel like this chick is your prototypical man-eater of a woman. Just the interactions that she had with my boy Danny was just so misread. Y'all saw it, bro. She just violated him. She chewed him up, misread his aura, misread his energy. They got an interview. We're about to get right into it. I'm kind of excited to see if this woman has grown.
We have Chi and Danny. Welcome. How you guys doing?
Welcome. Hi, guys.
What's going on?
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, so we have
and Danny.
right.
Not together.
ABCD.
Okay.
All right,
That's
so
kind of
obviously
crazy,
we
matter
have
of
you guys
fact.
on episode.
In case you haven't wondered, typically when they do the podcast interviews, they typically bring back couples that actually walked off the stage together. These two didn't, and they're getting a whole podcast interview.
33, and there's a lot of buzz going around.
In fact, they
people
were
talking about you
opposite.
both, so we decided to bring you back here on the podcast.
Yes.
So, how you guys doing? And how was both of your experience on the show? I mean, Dan, you was here before, so let's ask
start with
Chi.
Chi. Yeah.
Ladies first, anyway. Go ahead.
Oh, look, he has manners. Oh my God. No, it was amazing. I said it multiple
Oh,
times.
man.
Like, I had a good experience overall. Like, production was smooth. The ladies were amazing. Everybody was a good vibe. You two were amazing.
She a
I
streamer?
was very nervous. Okay, I did have a couple of drinky drinks, so my honesty meter, which is usually very at 100, was probably on 1,000.
Oh my.
So it was
Probably.
an experience.
Probably.
Man. Okay.
But yeah, I had a
Danny.
great experience. Go ahead, Mr. Returning.
It's the returning.
Well, this
Yo,
time,
she's already spicy. She's already spicy, man. Like, she's already giving me the vibe that she's still on the same bullshit that she was on the show. Like, either she didn't watch her own playback, or she's just oblivious to how she could have held herself accountable or changed the way she handled that whole interaction.
I just decided to just let go. You know, just be my complete self instead of. I think the first time I was on the show, I was really filtered, and it still didn't work out the way I wanted to be. So this time I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to be myself. So, and I wanted to have a fun experience. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking for a match, you're looking for somebody to connect with. They gotta know, you know, the side of me that they gonna see eventually. So I just let you have it.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So
Word.
from beginning to end, and so I really enjoyed myself. You know, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I did walk away a little disappointed. I can't lie, but other than that, you know, I feel like I had a good time.
Okay. Good.
Okay, yeah. So obviously, Danny, when you walked out, right, and you started speaking,
His
when you
demeanor's
dropped the
real
whole-
sincere.
You know, when you dropped the phrase that that just went viral, you said the wigs thing. You know, obviously that was talk of the talk of the episode. That was. What made you say that at that particular time?
Well, so I'm a prayer warrior, to be honest with you, and God knows my heart. So I've got to the point where if it comes to me, I'm going to say it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why when you look back and she said, because I knew what I was going to say from the beginning for the most part, but I couldn't quite understand or what I was going to say when you asked me what I didn't like. So in the back, I was doing a lot of praying. I was saying, just speak to me, and I'm a trust.
Mm.
And that is a pet peeve. So I've been through situations, even in a most recent relationship that didn't work out. I felt like um so I'm just be honest, man. So I was I was getting
Honesty is the best policy.
Get through it,
I
man.
was getting fussed at about certain stuff I wasn't doing and everything, and the whole time I was like, dang, you telling me everything that I'm not doing, but your wig bad. But I don't get to say nothing, because I'm a man, so I just got to sit there and take it. I don't really retort. So if it don't matter what you say to me, it don't matter, women can go off and they want the perfect human being. I just sit there and be like, okay. And you know what I'm saying? But in the back of my mind, I make notes of like what I want and what I don't want.
Look
And
at her
that's something. So
face.
really I said that as in like I was talking to my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like my friends know what's up. Like we say different things, but we do want what we don't want.
And the crazy thing is, bro, like Chi-Chi's really attractive, son. She's really attractive, but what she comes with is not worth the beauty. Again, what she comes with is not worth the beauty.
Okay.
And when
But
you
you're
ask
not
the
trying to
question,
date your friends. You don't talk to your friends the way you talk to a woman. You trying to find a woman, not a man.
well, no,
So,
that's
Danny, I
cap.
have a
That's cap.
question.
That's cap. That's your woman's supposed to be your friend.
Your best friend,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm
love her,
saying?
but she's still a woman.
So, Danny, I got a question for
Still
you.
a woman
So
what?
What is a bad wig to you?
Oh, come on, man.
Now, Danny, think about this before you
I-
answer.
We
Why
have
are
to
women
know
hanging
what
on to
is
this?
considered a bad wig to Danny.
All right, so look.
Like, you can't be serious right now.
No. I'm just gonna be honest.
Y'all tripping, man.
So I dated a woman that sold hair.
Okay.
All right. So when money gets involved, I start paying attention. So when I accidentally sold some hair and we made like $500 in an instant, I started paying attention. I started doing research. Like I understood that was back in the day when Peruvian and Brazilian hair was a big thing, and so growing up,
He knows about them as well, so he knows the names. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so growing up, I didn't know about
Big
weave.
expert.
Yeah, I didn't know about it. My mother to the day had the same routine. Her hair's in a ponytail. My cousins are literally Indian. They from India. I grew up with them. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even really understand that women wore extension stuff till I got to college. So I just
Facts.
didn't experience it. Like the women I dated,
Facts.
my son's mother, we've known each other since 8th grade.
I ain't gonna
doesn't
front, bro. It wasn't until my most serious relationship that I really started learning about like now all these white girls' hair is really that long. Like weave in general. Like wigs. You know what I mean? Like if you ever grew up going to church, when your mama putting on that wig. When granny got on that stiff helmet wig with the flower hat. Like, come on now. We know what a bad wig looked like. But now we got these lace fronts and these other different styles of weave that you can't even tell difference between real and fake. I mean, unless you've been experienced. Point of the matter is I was 26 when I first discovered about like the variety of options women have. And it's not just wigs and weaves anymore. Now it's lace fronts and all these other things. I was like 26, bro. So I ain't knocking them.
wear it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not accustomed to it. So, but basically, I think is when I like to be tricked. I like to is it a wig or is it like, you know what I'm saying? So most
tricks of
times
words.
the women I talk to will wear like sew-ins or something like that where, and the front, you don't really can tell
So they have
that.
the weave
Yeah.
out with the
it look-
weave in the back. Okay.
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
like your hair. Do you
Okay.
understand what I'm saying?
But
So
that's
if
not
I
a wig. We talking about wigs. What's a
Wigs.
bad wig to you? Not a
bad-
bad weave.
It's all the same.
Like a
Come on, man.
hump,
Like
what's a bad wig?
why are we playing semantics? Like the man gave you a solid explanation. They're hanging on this wig narrative. Like they don't understand what he's trying to say. Like they're trying to put him in a situation where it's like, bro, it's a preference. He's entitled to how he feels. Like if he thinks a bad wig is unattractive on a woman, look, most men do too. It's nothing that, honestly, in my opinion, should have really went as viral as it did if Chi-Chi didn't roast the hell out of him, but it was completely taken out of context. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to make it seem like he really got an issue that most men don't, or like women don't know that men don't like bad wigs. Like, this is very common. They're just putting him in a space to come across as negative or petty.
To you, like it's
wig.
not flat enough, like a wig, a lace front.
When you can tell
When you can tell
what it is instantly. If you was dating a man and you could tell that his hair was a toupee, you would feel the same way.
Right.
Okay, but
So,
listen,
but when guys
you
talk
will
about
always be
it,
able to look and know
Like Frozen.
that a wig is a wig. There's no way to make it blend into your head like
no,
it's
but
your
what
hair.
he's saying, the important thing that Danny's saying is that if a girl that cannot tell the difference between a good wig and a bad wig, that's the important statement that he's making right there.
But he still hasn't really told us what the bad wig is. That's
Y'all
what I
about
really
to make
wanna
about to
know.
make me talk, man. I'm trying to be cool.
What's
Like
a
I'm about
bad
to.
wig? We wanna know.
All right, so Danny, tell us what is a bad wig.
Man, bad wig to me.
Come
It
on.
look like you just put it on like a hat. So y'all be laughing. I be dead serious. Like I don't even know what I be saying. Like,
Jesus Christ.
I mean, he's got a point. He's got a point. He's got a point.
No hat wig.
Keep it simple.
So,
No, we just-
so Chi-Chi, do you agree with him there? You laughed, right? So do you agree with him?
Well, the thing is, I used to wear wigs. I'm a girl that I used to have fun. This is like my third time locking my hair back up. So,
Nice.
as a woman, I agree because I
Third
used to fool
time.
people with my wigs, and I used to make wigs. I know what a good wig looks like.
Mhm.
However, agreeing with Danny, my reason I popped was because she didn't say what do you like and not like. She said what's a deal breaker. And as soon as he responded, I felt like he was being a funny guy. I'm like, he didn't come here for love. What did he come here for?
That's the same
A
thing.
bad wig is a deal breaker. That's not a
No, well-
and then you called it a disability. You felt like it was a disorder or something like that. You felt like it was a mental disorder. I'm like, no, a mental disorder is someone who's a pathological liar or a cheater. That's a deal breaker. So it was because of the words. She said deal breaker.
Cheating is a mental disorder? Fellas. Cheating to Chi-Chi is a mental disorder, bro. Interesting.
Someone who's trying to find love doesn't say a bad wig. And then also, no offense, Danny, when a man speaks on a woman's beauty, whether it's her nails, her lashes, or her wig, I classify it as sassy. No offense,
No
once again.
way.
All right, okay.
Why are men not allowed to have opinions on women's beauty? Like, this is the conversation that's not had enough within this society. Like, women want to draw this argument that when they go out to look good, they only look good for themselves. They only look good for themselves. They only look good for their sisterhood. It's never about the man. And I just hate this whole approach with a lot of modern day women. Like, it's okay to give a man grace. It's okay to say that you're doing things for a man. It's okay to come across a little submissive. There's nothing wrong with elegance. You know what I'm saying? Modern day women have convinced you that men are expendable. Like, let's be honest. Her face is beat. Her face is beat right now. This is not a natural look for her. She put on makeup, and I'm not saying she put on makeup to impress Danny over here, but she knows she has to present herself well. Right? Especially when she goes out in public. She knows that she has to present herself. Like, a part of her wants to look good for herself, but she knows she's going to get a lot of men attention. Especially when you're signing up to go on a dating show that's going to be viewed by millions of people. You want to look aesthetically pleasing. You know, not just for you and the girls on the lineup. You want to look good for the men too, or you would have came out looking busted. You know what I'm saying? Like, women want to act like these makeups, yo, it's like, and these outfits aren't to draw some type of attention. And I'm not saying every single day, but like, imagine me saying like, yo, when I go out, I'm not even trying to look remotely appealing to women. When I go out, I'm not trying to impress nobody. That's not, it just wouldn't be authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever we step out, especially if we're going to events, we want to look our best. I like, could you imagine a man saying, yo, when I go out, I'm not trying to look good for women?
Okay.
Y'all
Gigi,
left?
I think
Yeah.
we're taking it too
You can
far.
look good for yourself,
yeah,
but
I
because-
come on.
because-
classify
no.
it as sassy because a thing a woman does
Man,
for
she gonna
her
say it
own
again.
beauty
She
is not
doubled
for
down
you.
on him.
I'm gonna double down because I
Chichi,
stand
do you
on
know
what I
do,
say.
do you know the amount
She's
of
a little
times that
aggressive.
women comment on guys, right? They don't
Their
See?
look,
appearance.
they don't like how they
Money.
look, their attraction, all of that. But if a guy talks about it, it's an issue. When a girl talks about it, you go.
The double standard is suffocating, bro. I'm telling you, again, modern day women like this think that they're the only ones entitled to have a preference. You got to be a certain height. You got to make 6 figures. You got to have a beard. You got to be fit. You got to be sexy. You got to have perfect teeth. You know, and if you don't fit any of that criteria, you're viewed as a loser. You know, let's just keep it a beam, man. I say it all the time. Men have an early reality hit when it comes to being a part of Loserville. Life reminds you that you're a loser at a very early age in life. You know what I mean? Especially in high school. Let's just start from there, right? But nonetheless, she wants to convince you that, like, only women are entitled to have preferences, and if a man has a preference, he's considered sassy. And we know what sassy really means, bro. Like when did sassy start to become the modern day word for being called gay? It's just it's now taboo now to use gay as a slur. So we've converted it to sassy to emasculate men. Like, God forbid I have an opinion on the way you're dressed or the way you look, or maybe I say, yo, sweetheart, you look nice with the red nail polish. That's sassy, having an opinion. I can't have preferences. Modern day time will tell you that you can't have preferences. And matter of fact, Chi-Chi would tell you, if you're not aesthetically fit, if you're not aesthetically appealing, you're not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to have a preference. You know what I mean? That's her argument right here. He doesn't look good enough to have a preference because he's not fit. Imagine. I'm telling you.
Do you tell him how it is, right?
But he started it.
No,
Chi-Chi,
that's
pause.
that's
Instead
double
of
standards
saying,
right
Hold
now.
on, no, hold
Let's hear
on,
from
Chi-Chi.
Daddy.
You
Let's
said
hear
what
from
you
Daddy.
said. Wigs are a disability. That's
Yeah,
what you
okay,
said.
that's
It's a whatever
fine.
disorder.
First of all, let me tell you,
That's a
because
funny guy, not someone looking for love.
Okay, let's hear from Daddy. Go ahead, Daddy.
I do think, first of all, let me pause there because I didn't get a chance to comment on that sassy stuff, and y'all women just throw that word out and y'all attacking a man's gender preference. I don't think y'all understand that. It's
Yeah.
really some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
has nothing to do with your gender
Yeah.
preference.
Yes, it does. That's exactly what it means. It means you acting
That is
feminine.
not what it means.
It means like what else? What does sassy mean? Yo, let me know in the comment section. What is a woman really referring to a man when you refer to them as sassy? Like, come on, bro.
That okay, you're acting feminine
You're
and
gonna
you're
get me
being
tight.
sassy
Which is-
does not mean that your preference of a man or a woman. I'm not talking about your sexual orientation
Sweetheart.
and what you prefer.
Sweetheart.
I'm saying your sass. Going back and forth with me right now,
Sweetheart.
sassy. You're
Sweetheart.
going back and forth with me.
Sweetheart.
That's sassy.
Sweetheart. The only reason we're going back and
I
forth
said
because
what
you're
I
not
said.
listening.
Crazy thing is, like she's not listening at all. Like, imagine going back. So basically, in her world, only women are allowed to have the upper hand in an argument. Only women are allowed to be able to voice and have a preference. Any sort of combativeness from a man is viewed as sassy. God forbid we like they're wrong and we want to correct them. We're viewed as sassy. God forbid we have a preference and we're willing to stand behind it. God forbid that's sassy. That's the reality that we're living in, y'all.
You're not
That's the
listening
only-
to me.
I am listening. I listen to you. Now, I'm going to
Listen,
tell you something. Okay? So just in case you didn't know, I'm educate you on from a man's perspective. When y'all say words like sassy, that's the equivalent of me calling you a dyke.
Ooh.
Like,
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, it
Sweetheart.
is. Yes, it is.
I'm telling you from a
Okay,
man's
no.
perspective.
Yes, it
Give
is.
me
You
the
can
word
agree
for
or not
sass.
agree.
Give me a word besides dyke, because I didn't call you. I didn't say any word.
You
in
didn't
the
even say
LGBT
sassy.
community. No.
You're saying sassy now. You're
Because I
saying
said
sassy
that's
now.
why I responded that way, because I feel like when a man talks about things that can change, you can go and take a woman to the hair salon. I can take you to the gym. When you came
Yeah.
out, I didn't pop the balloon because you had a stomach. My ex has a
They're
ball
having
of belly.
two
We
different
like to eat.
conversations.
I don't talk about
They're having two different conversations. He's referring to now. She's referring to the episode.
people's appearance. If it's not for me, they're not for me. But I don't go around picking at men's physical appearance because I could take him to the gym. That's not a
You feel
thing.
your
You could
person.
take her to the hair salon. So even when I said that with you, you went back and forth with me. And I consider that very feminine when a man can't be a woman and let her express it. So you got to be a me too. You have to one up me. That's what you did. I consider that very feminine. When a man gives me that level of femininity, me as a woman, I feel like my femininity is attacked because you're not being masculine. You're being feminine.
Okay, Chichi.
Okay.
What? What? Anybody that watched that episode, if you could just read a room, Chi-Chi was the most aggressive of the two. She threw nothing but insults about his weight, the aesthetically pleasing thing. He wasn't being combative. It was a conversation. He was actually having a conversation with her. And she's painting this narrative as if it was an argument, as if he wanted the one up. Like everything that she said, he couldn't say anything back while she was insulting him. You know what I'm saying? And she's mad at the fact that he was going back and forth where, I mean, come on, bro. You're coming at his weight, and he made a reference about wigs that don't even apply to you because you got on locks. What are we arguing about, sweetheart? You were defending an issue that had nothing to do with you, and you were pressed about it when it was just a common reference. He wasn't talking about any of the women in the lineup. It was a general perspective. And she went team feminine on him. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just feel like, well, you know, if you want to come at people aesthetics, you got to be aesthetically pleasing. Just ripping them, body shaming them in front of millions of people. And God forbid he tries to defend himself in that conversation. It's now viewed as sassy, even though he was keeping the ball rolling. It wasn't an argument. It was conversations going back and forth. And she's just reading complete misread of the entire ordeal, bro.
Hold on 1 second, B.
One up me. That's what you did. I consider that very feminine. When a man gives me that level of femininity, me as a woman, I feel like my femininity is attacked because you're not being masculine. You're being feminine.
Okay, Chichi.
Okay,
let's
hold on 1 second, B.
let's let Danny finish his whole sentence. Let's let him finish. Yeah.
You gotta look at it. First of all, even on that, you gotta look at the situation that we're in. Everything that you think about me is an assumption. We have no clue of who that person is on the opposite of you, right? I don't know anything about you. You don't know anything about me. So if you say something, we don't have the opportunity. I'm looking for a match. So I have to either agree with what you're saying or change your mind instantly. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have the opportunity to talk and I can just listen and you had already popped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like this is the only opportunity I have to either change your mind or leave an impression or something like that. So you calling it back and forth, it's a conversation. And it's a conversation with you having
I just said that.
Assumption, a presumed assumption about me based on something like you consider as a joke. But yeah, I mean, I got to the point to where
Well, I'm happy I know it was a joke.
the wig thing, I'm gonna tell you, she said deal breaker. It's something like I wouldn't even approach. That's what the question. I feel like it doesn't have to be a deal breaker because once I'm in something, I'm in it. You know, and I have suggested and like I'm gonna tell you something. This lady came in. This lady, mean ex. She came in. She had the wig on. And I was like, oh, why don't you just wear your natural hair? She was like, well, I'm supporting my cousin's business. I said, well, your cousin need to go out of business. If if that don't mean take that shit out, I don't know what else to tell you. And most of the time, it's not even about finances. Most of the time, I date up, or the woman is smarter than me, or make more money than me, or is something like this. So I listen. We pay attention because I have a skill set that helps people with their business. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of relationships I'm most likely to get in anyway. So we're not bickering back and forth. We're talking, we're learning, we're growing together. So it has nothing to do with money. That's why I said some things just can't be fixed. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Chichi, you was one of the only girls that popped at that time, right? At the beginning, for the wig thing, right? I feel like all the other girls was, you know, they were trying to hear him out. But I feel like you set the pace, you know. Obviously, you popped, you was like, I'm not having it. And you stuck by whatever reasons you popped by. right? Do
Mhm.
you think that maybe you went too fast? Like you didn't really try to understand Danny?
No,
That's
I don't
crazy.
think I went too fast because at the end of the day, he
He
just
said that's
said we
crazy.
have a limited amount of time to like just
Mind you, she popped the moment he like he said what he said. Like, so that was like the first 15 seconds of his entrance.
present ourselves or get to know somebody and to really find a match. Like, I didn't fly from LA to Phoenix to hear somebody try and be funny or comical. I flew to Phoenix to actually see five men who literally wanted to find love and wanted to actually be serious. If that's your introduction and
He
your
comical.
answer to something that's a deal breaker, and I understand his story is a bad wig, it's like, and then his rebuttal was, "Oh, she must have a bad wig." It's like, okay, you're not here for love. So to me, I'm not even about to do that.
Well, let me tell you something. So y'all had a couple that matched, right? This dude went. I think it was the episode or something or two right before mine. He he presented himself. He pretty much begged for it. She said, "I got a house with a pool," and he was like, because it was
Yeah, that was
between him
Eric.
and
That was
somebody else.
Eric. That was Eric. Yeah.
It was between two. It was between him and another person. So when y'all did the follow up on it, she said he never made me laugh. That was her follow up. So you can't be come out there. It's just not a business situation. You women want men to be comical. They want to make you laugh. They want to, like, you know what I'm saying. But I didn't say that to make anybody laugh. Yeah, I laughed at myself, but I was dead ass serious. If a woman's wig is crazy, I'm not even going to approach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not there for it.
It's like a lose-lose situation. I kind of get what he's saying, son. He's basically saying, like, yo, when you go out in these platforms, bro, women want you to be a whole bunch of things. If he would have came out being dead ass serious, he feels like he wouldn't have a shot with any of the women lined up. So basically, his sense of humor, or people taking it as a joke, he was dead ass serious about the wig comment. It just so happened to be funny. That's the thing. It's like the intent wasn't to be funny because he was being honest, but it was taken as him being a funny guy because of the comment. But he's dead ass serious about that being a bad preference. You know what I mean? Being in the situation is like, yo, you got to come out and be charming. And I think they mistook his charm for a guy that was attempting to be funny. No, he's trying to be pleasant. He's trying to be comfortable. He's trying to be as relatable as he could have been. But people took it as him being a funny guy because they wanted to just harp on the wig comment, bro. Can we move on from talking about wigs, bro? We're like 16 minutes in and we still talking about weave.
General purpose. I'm not there to make everybody happy. I'm there for one woman in the whole world, just one.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? And if a woman has a wig on and something that's not aesthetically pleasing to me, I'm not even gonna see if how she at this point in time. It's just gonna be like, all right, unless we come into some kind of situation to where, like, we get to know each other outside of that, or just like grows again is meant to be, then yeah. But if we're talking about just straight approach, there's been people on there that pop that because the woman wore a hat that looked crazy. There's all kinds of you know what I'm saying? Like, she had the one dread hanging. I watched this show like before I went on there. You understand what I'm saying? And if I had seen a woman whose wig was looking like that, I would have been, if I had opportunity, I'd have been like, yeah, no. You know what I'm saying? But on the episode when I first was on, that's one thing that I looked at. Like, the girl who came out from Texas, the second one, her stuff was lace. She looked good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look at that. When I look at somebody and picture on Instagram, the first thing I see is like their hair and all kinds of stuff. It just shows like a level of like it shows like how much attention to detail that they pay. That they pay attention.
What
Like
you're saying?
they house, if they wig is, if their hair is lace and all that, their house is probably clean. Their body is clean. Their nails is done. Like, it's all cohesive. I look at that. I when I was
Most men
broke,
do.
women ain't want to talk to me when I ain't had no haircut. My shoes.
He is not an anomaly like the way she's trying to paint it. It's like, yo, women got a problem with men having an opinion on their business, but they always up in a man business, bro. You know, women are allowed to judge us. Women are allowed to really disrespect us. Like women get charged for committing the same crime as a man. Women on average get fewer years on their sentences, bro. It's like this society and that just revolves around women, allow women like this to function, where she thinks just because she's fit, right? And being fit is subjective, right? Like, what's fit? You know, like, because you could always find someone that's more fit than the next person, right? But she lives in a world where just because she's in shape and a woman, she's allowed to have an opinion on a man. But God forbid a man have an opinion. God forbid. You know?
Dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't even get I couldn't even get the opportunity. What's the difference? I look crazy without a haircut. If I had came on there without a haircut, y'all probably would have popped as soon as I walked out.
And to to add to your point as well, Danny, my wife Arlette knows how to present herself, right? And do you think that if I see something that doesn't look right, I wouldn't tell her? Of course, I will always speak to her if I see. So to Danny's point, right? Guys sometimes can see these things, and I feel like when a guy talks about it, some girls might not like the way that they're saying it, right?
And
it's
you know now too. You now know too the difference between a good and a bad wig. I taught him. Well, he's just been paying attention, you know. So
so if I see something that's like, yo,
right,
but that's what Danny is. Danny's basically
Danny's over it.
There is, you know,
you saw that deep side
standard of wigs, and there's bad standard.
But I think this also kind of goes back to the fact that they're just not compatible. Like their sense of humors don't match.
Who?
Both
Me and
of
Chi-Chi?
you. Yeah.
Man, Chi-Chi crazy because I actually think even when I watched the show, and you know what I'm saying, I think that me and Chi-Chi, like she smoke, I smoke too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't even get a chance to really, like, that's the one thing I didn't like about that. You asked about my experience. Man, the questions that I had, you would have made me seem like a genius. Y'all brains would have been working. Like I am
But
not only first of all, let me say something. Not only am I a reader, I am a writer. Readers are leaders. Writers create the narrative. My whole thing is thought provoking. Yes, I may do it in a joking way, but that's what you're gonna get when you get into a relationship. That's what you're gonna get when in a certain situation. We nervous, man. If y'all think I'm joking and stuff, like
she like dancing while he's speaking and shit.
I'm watching myself. Y'all don't even understand. My heart beating the whole time I'm up there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nerve-wracking.
Everybody always says that, yeah.
So I do it with a smile. I said, I'm going to have a smile on my face regardless. Like, I just went to the dentist and everything. So I'm going to have a smile on my face and everything. Like, regardless of what, I'm not going to go back. I could have, like, y'all think that's back and forth. I really could have said some stuff. Right. But I choose not to.
But why didn't you?
Because he has to be a bigger person. Like, why didn't you? Like, he's saying like he really could have said some stuff in retaliation to the shade that you thrown his way, and he took the high road, the high ground. He was the absolute bigger man in that whole exchange. She's talking about why didn't you? Like, because number one, I think she's misreading his point because she's not listening. Even as he was talking, like she's like, you know, teeter bopping and like come on, like. Girl, you got neon lights on the back of your chair. Your background says Chi-Chi. Like, what are we doing, son? Are we having a grown conversation? Or are we talking to an 8-year-old TikToker? You know what I'm saying? And she's just not listening to the point that he's trying to make and misreading his objective here. He could have played you. He took the higher ground because it's like, what's the point? You popped your balloon based off of something that had nothing to do with you. He knew he was talking to stupid. He knew it.
But say the things that matter.
No, I'm talking about negatively. I didn't even get an opportunity. Like, you don't even know who I was. Y'all just like y'all.
I have a question for you.
What's up? Go ahead, ask.
Because you're so focused on the fact that I popped my balloon so quickly, but remember, I was at the end of the line. So by the time you got down to me, you had went back and forth with like every single girl, like.
Back and forth. Back and forth is crazy. The man was, and this is how tone deaf she is. The man was simply having a conversation. He was creating an independent moment within a very awkward situation where every woman he was talking to. He probably spent, 20 minutes up there, where typically the average guy probably is about 15, right? So let's say he spent 20 minutes up there. It was a good part, too. He's having a conversation with these women. It's banter. A lot of it projected around what were they talking about? Skydiving. It was like the most dumbest things, but like he came across as having genuine conversations with each woman, and she's trying to play it off like it was an argument. Like he fought with every woman on stage prior to coming to me.
And take what somebody said. Like, that's the one thing that I do not like and did not like about you. You went back and forth with everybody. As friends, me and Danny could probably be friends. Today, I will probably want to drop kick you.
Chichi, do you class that as going back and forward, how he was interacting with the girls?
Every single one of them.
I feel like some of them he was just joking around. They were just having like friendly banter and stuff like that.
Well, apparently it's Southern banter, which I was led to
said,
believe.
I've got West Coast banter.
Right. So
no, I'm Jamaican and Nigerian. I don't have East Coast or West Coast banter. I have.
You sound crazy.
My family is very crazy, and we don't sugarcoat things. Okay, so it's
I'm
like
supposed
to me.
Sugarcoat stuff. But I'm supposed to do the same thing.
Danny, I'm a woman. Stop comparing yourself to me.
No.
What? Oh my God, bro. Danny, I'm a woman, basically saying I'm allowed to shit talk. I'm allowed to voice my opinion. God forbid, and you're not allowed to because I'm a woman. This is delusional at its highest form, bro. You don't speak to this. Like, I ain't gonna front. I could hang with the best of them. Women like Chi-Chi, bro, are just a red flag. A red flag. Like the moment he said, so I'm supposed to take the humble route. I'm supposed to be the bigger person, right? Don't compare yourself to me. I'm a woman.
I have.
You sound crazy.
My family is very crazy, and we don't sugarcoat things. Okay, so it's
I'm
like
supposed
to me.
Sugarcoat stuff. But I'm supposed to do the same thing.
Danny, I'm a woman. Stop comparing yourself to me.
No, sweetheart.
What?
Like,
Sweetheart.
I'm not about to keep doing this. Like, as a man and a woman, we're not gonna keep saying me too. Like, I hate Mr. Me Too.
No, it's not a me too.
What?
If you're
It is a me too. You just said I'm doing the same thing. Like, let me have it as a woman. Like, you can't let me have it.
Y'all pop my balloon. I ain't letting you have shit. If we was in a relationship or something, I might let you have it. If we was,
that's what I'm saying.
Then he's getting frustrated.
Like, another thing I don't like is how you treat any woman is also important. Like, I want a man that respects all women, not just me.
So I was disrespectful?
I want in some things I feel like you were. Like, the thing is,
he wasn't disrespectful with anybody up there.
Be funny to you, but it's not funny to somebody else. Okay, the things I said, people might not think it's funny. Whatever it is, it might rub some people the wrong way. To each
He's
his own.
irritating to listen to.
Was I disrespectful?
He's irritating.
If I was disrespectful, just stand out of your mind. Give me one.
See, this is the same thing you did when we were talking back and forth on the show. Like, you asked me, what was the woman's mama's name? When you said her mama had.
Exactly. You got bent out of shape over a reference he made about somebody's mother that you didn't even know. And the whole point was, why are you getting worked up? You don't even know the woman. He's asking you, if you're going to make a claim that he was disrespectful or he was disrespecting all the women up there on that platform, it's fair for him to ask, give me one moment in which I disrespected someone. Why are women allowed to make accusations with no proof? Not little to no proof. He's asking a question. And then she's trying to make a reference to, oh, this is when you asked me about that question about the mother. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, that's her stance. I promise you.
A bad wig too. It ran in the family. And then when I brought it up,
bring it back.
This is the same thing you did when we were talking back and forth on the show. Like, you asked me, what was
She's
the
irritating, bro.
name? When you said her mama had a bad wig too. It ran in the family. And then when I brought it up at the end of our conversation, you said, what was her mama's name? It doesn't matter. It don't matter. I'm not about to sit here and
I knew she was gonna go that route. I knew she was gonna go that route, bro. It don't matter.
It did exist.
It don't matter.
Here pulling up
I can make all the accusations in the world. Don't ask me for proof. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. What? Like it's become so toxic, and it's just, listen, man. I know we could use Chi-Chi as an example. She's just merely the head of the snake. There are thousands, if not millions, of other women that process the world in the same views in which this woman does, where they ask for equality but never intend to take any accountability that comes with equality. They want to be equal. They want to have all the privileges, and God forbid a man has the same privileges is an issue. It's like being a man eater, bro. And this is not all women. It's just women built like this. You know what I'm saying? The red flag right here. Just toxic. You know, let me have my woman thing. Oh, like, I'm fit, I'm pretty, I'm beautiful. And I'm telling you, I say it all the time in the videos and where I react. Someone is getting locked up. Someone is getting handcuffed. Listen, you got black people saying ain't nothing like white privilege. You got white people saying ain't nothing like black privilege. the worst privilege within our society is neither of the two. It's beauty. Beauty is the worst privilege that this country allows people to succeed with. You know what I mean? Because it requires not enough up here. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful people get to live in a reality that nobody else shares with them. They're absolved of all accountability. They get special privileges in life. They get special accesses to do certain things because they're attractive. You know what I'm saying? And it's toxic as hell speaking to someone because you never want to feel like, oh, just because she's beautiful, she's dumb. But if you put a microphone in front of them and they sound like that, it's like, bruh, you're better off not saying anything. Because what do you see when you see her? You see someone that's attractive. But the shit that comes out her mouth is like this privilege that nobody else has access to. To view the world in which you can have a negative opinion on someone and body shame them, but yet if they have a preference in terms of not liking a wig, you want to crucify him because it's women's business. And anytime a man has an opinion on a woman, it's viewed as sassy or lesser than. And these women wonder why they're single. They wonder why they're beautiful and single. I'm telling you, bro. Like they stand right in front of you. You let them speak long enough, they'll expose themselves. That's what I've learned throughout the years of like watching videos like this or just hearing beautiful people speak. And again, beauty is subjective, right? Like what someone might find attractive, another person would be like, nah, that's garbage. You know, it's completely subjective. But there are people that get to live in this beautiful state of mind where they could just do whatever, right? And we have to take them as such. Crazy.
Recaps of everything.
I'm going on a rant this whole video. This is gonna be a long video, bro. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about
my opinion. That you said because I don't have time or give a fuck enough, but I'm stating my opinion. Okay? I feel like you went back and forth too much. I don't even have a wig. That's the crazy part. Like we're talking about wigs and I have lots.
He's making his point. He's so tone deaf. She's so tone deaf to the conversation that's at hand. And while we just wasted 23 minutes talking about wigs, she's so tone deaf to that point that she doesn't even realize she just made his point. The point was, you want to make a big deal about a wig and you don't even have wigs, you have locks. So why were you so triggered? That was the point since day one. And for her to come out and say this dumb shit, come on, bro. Read a room.
You went back and forth too much.
Read a room.
I don't even have a wig. That's the crazy part. Like we're talking about wigs and I have lots. Okay,
right? So it's got nothing.
That is what blew a lot of people in the comments.
Right,
like a lot of people because I don't like when men talk about beauty. Like men, you're not getting your nails done, you're not getting your hair done. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Move on. Talk about other things. Like I feel like if you come in here for love, and I'm gonna stand on what I said. If you're coming here for love, saying a deal breaker is a wig is like what the fuck.
Wow.
So Chichi,
like,
I have a question.
He really said, I don't like it when men comment on beauty, son. Like, we're not allowed to have an opinion on what's attractive or what should be tolerated. Bro, half y'all chicks get your asses done. Y'all don't get your asses done for yourself. You get your asses done for the attention that comes with having a fat ass by men. Most of them are fucking simps. You know what I mean? You get your lips done because of the same reason. You get your tits done for the same reason. You're trying to look beautiful and attractive so you could bring in a guy worth something. That's the whole point. So the audacity to say, I don't like it when men have an opinion on women's beauty. What? Why can't a man have standards? We should just take you as you come? Short, if you have on a bad wig, it's a bad wig. So, what are you talking about? Same way if I come through and my shirt is stained or my teeth is yellow. My teeth is yellow. You're going to use all those breaking points to tell me why you're not interested in me. God forbid it's a wig. Y'all come at men's heights. Y'all come at our finances. You come at our weight. Come at our style. Come at our IQ. Come at like whether or not we were from the hood or we're tough enough or we have edge. Some of y'all will look a nice guy in the face and pop the balloon because you think he's sweet. Meanwhile, that guy could be the guy that changes your life or shows you some actual respect. But because, he's too prepped for you, right? Or he's not thug enough for you, you pop your balloon. Women have a million preferences when it comes to being able to evaluate men. But God forbid we have an opinion on beauty.
I didn't fly to
some of the
Phoenix
comments,
to hear you say you don't like bad wigs. Like,
hold on, Chichi, I got a comment. So in the comments on Instagram and I think also on YouTube, they were like, Oh, how did Chi Chi get upset that he's commenting about wigs, but she personally attacked his weight?
Weight and everything, right?
That's a
I
good
didn't
point.
pop because of his stomach. I popped because of what he said, not because of how he looked. He came out there and said,
but she personally
She didn't even hear the question. She's not like, and this is getting so frustrating. I feel like I'm the smartest person in the room. People that are watching my video, listen to the question that was asked and listen to her response. She's so in her feels, or her IQ is just exposing herself. She doesn't even answer the question. Pay attention to the question.
Oh, how did Chi Chi get upset that he's commenting about wigs, but she personally attacked his weight?
Weight and everything, right?
I didn't pop because of his stomach. I popped because of what he said, not because of how he looked. He came out there and said, women with bad wigs is a mental disability.
No, they're saying, how could you pop? I don't feel like eat.
Point. Oh, she got a bad wig. That's what he said, and that's what I responded to.
No, I didn't. I
that
said
is what you
everybody.
Said. Would you like me to play the clip?
No, I said I didn't see you. So if I said this in the comments, if I had to say I don't like women with dirty feet and you pop, what else was I supposed to think? I didn't look to see who popped and said, oh, she got a bad. I didn't even look that way. I'm talking to Arlette.
Exactly. So I don't have a bad wig. So anyway.
All right then. So the joke on you.
There is no joke on me. I said what I said. I don't like when men talk about women's beauties in a certain.
The beauty is for the man. The beauty is for the man.
No, the beauty is for us. The beauty is for us to feel good and love ourselves, and beauty is for us to explore, okay? It doesn't make you beautiful, but it makes you feel beautiful.
So I'm asking you a question.
And beauty is for us to feel good. It's not for you and it's not about you, but we love when y'all like it. But
so
stop
women,
women,
lies, bro. Just the flat out lies that you could get away with saying. Like, imagine, again, gentlemen, ladies, imagine you being a man. And you go out there and you say you don't try to look good for women. Just imagine if men were walking around saying some shit like that, sounding like that. The idiocy. And when you walk out your house, you're not trying to look good for no woman. Now, granted, unless you swing the opposite way, I can understand you. But I'm talking about straight brothers. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. We would look extremely ridiculous. You know, like, yo, we understand that you want to look good, but why do you want to look good? It's not solely for you. It's not solely for you, or you would wear makeup 24 hours. Why do you not wear makeup in the crib when you're not going out? Why don't you wear makeup when you're laying down in bed reading a book? No, you put on makeup when you're presenting yourself to the world or when you're going out and about because you know you want to draw a certain type of attention. I just hate this notion. And she just gives me this feminine movement that just anti-man everything. Like just, God forbid, a woman praises a man kind of vibes. Because she's going to sit here and say she does not care to look good for a man. Which is like, what? What? That the only reason women try to look good is solely for women. Women, do y'all agree with that? Do y'all really agree with that? That a man can't have an opinion on beauty. And this is like, and look how triggered she gets. She's real triggered.
Feel beautiful.
So I'm asking you a question.
And beauty is for us to feel good. It's not for you and it's not about you, but we love when y'all like it. But
so women, women don't
worry about ways. Don't wear one.
No, that's dumb. But so women don't like it when men get.
You saying that your deal breaker is a bad wig and it's a mental disorder.
So women don't like it when men get haircuts. They don't be like, "Ooh, that's a nice haircut." That's not.
But if somebody asks me as a woman what my deal breaker is in finding love, I'm not going to say, "Oh, a man with a bad haircut," you know, because he needs to know when his hairline is going back. But that's what you guys are missing. Different strokes for different folks. I don't need to fit into the box of what every woman thinks of what every woman has to be.
Are you saying that?
She said different strokes for different folks. How does she have the audacity to say that after ridiculing this man for having his own different stroke? She just ridiculed him for 26 minutes. You know, if you go back to the episode, she ridiculed him then even worse. And then she has the audacity to say different strokes for different folks. Like, why couldn't you just accept the fact that he doesn't like a woman with a bad wig? It's a simple statement. It's nothing even that offensive, especially since it didn't even apply to you in the first place. You have locks. And now we're saying different strokes for different folks?
Guys, are you saying that guys can't comment on beauty?
I'm not lonely, though, so you be all right.
Chicha, are you saying that, yeah?
Hold on, what?
But that's what you guys are missing. Different strokes for different folks. I don't need to fit into the box of what every woman thinks or what every woman has to be.
Are you saying that
guys?
Are you saying that guys can't?
He's like, this is why you single.
I'm not lonely though, so you be alright.
Teacher, are you saying that guys should not comment on girls' beauty, but girls can comment
she's
on
petty.
Guys, looks
I feel like
haircut
in a distasteful manner, you should not. No, you shouldn't. Because let me be personally very frank with y'all. You shouldn't.
If she if she can't afford it, and that's like if you talk about a person that's down and out, then yeah. But I wasn't even talking about a person. I just said in general. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not even, like I said, I'm not there to date generally
why?
women.
Like, why is that such a thing that it's like, so you have to, like,
you
why?
Would listen.
You
have, you know, I'm gonna tell you.
You keep repeating yourself.
You keep cutting him off,
I have
though,
to repeat myself because you don't let me get from 1, 2, and 3.
Sir,
I got all. Like she's still doing it.
Because you're asking me to listen to you repeat the same thing to prove your point. You said what you said about women's aesthetics, and I said what I said.
Wow, bro. She's like so masculine. She's so masculine, bro. She's loud. She won't let this dude get through his point. Like these are the red flags that you got to see beyond the beauty, beyond a woman that's just trying to be attractive. Oh yeah, mind you, she's trying to look attractive, but she has no intentions of looking attractive for the opposite sex. This is solely for her. You know what I'm saying? But just listening to this conversation, I'm almost feeling burnt out, bro. You know what I mean? It really, like, she's so combative. She's so argumentative. She's so in her feels. You know what I mean? That Danny can't even get to a point. And again, 9 times out of 10, you end up repeating yourself when someone keeps cutting you off. And we could count up to maybe 5, 6 times she's cut him off. And she's so completely tone deaf to how rude she's been this entire conversation.
Said about your aesthetics because you are so aesthetically focused. And I said that because I feel like it's shallow. Even women running around here talking about man's haircut or a man that's too short. You probably missing out on your short king. That's all I'm saying. You focus on the wrong shit, Danny. That's all I'm saying. So that's it. There's nothing deeper than that. Y'all making it too deep. You focus on the wrong thing. That was my reason. I'm like, is he serious? So that would make you serious.
Okay, that's fine.
Like, that's it. Like, y'all making it deeper than what it is. I said what I said because of what you said. It's aesthetics. We talking about aesthetics. Let's talk.
Like, why is she giving the body language like she's trying to fight through a screen, bro? You know what I mean? Like aggressive. Just aggressive. And if you're just reading body language, Danny's shutting down. She's like bulking up. Like, you could tell this is what communicating with her is like whenever there's a disagreement involved. You know, we're talking about someone that's going to get in your face. We're talking about someone that's going to raise their voice and antagonize. Oh my gosh, bro. She has the antagonize button written all over her because she just doesn't know when to shut up. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing ever wrong with knowing when to shut up. Men understand that better than any species. Sometimes it's best to just not say anything and just let her talk. Men take that route oftentimes than not. And the times in which we do decide to have a conversation, they deem it to be sassy. It's like, we'll never be able to communicate with these modern day women if this is how they operate, in this bubble of beauty in which they have all the entitlement and men just have to take them as they are. Take them as they are. They're the only ones that can have the pick of the litter and have standards and preferences. It's insane, bro. Insane to listen to her speak.
My goodness gracious.
In her feels. In her feels.
Because you pissing me off.
Okay, Chichi, what's your type?
My type is a masculine, strong, leading man that leads, that allows me to thrive in my feminine and my femininity. Like, it's just like when you have to go back and forth with a grown man.
Can't even say the word.
At some point, your masculinity starts coming out because you feel defensive. So I don't like when men.
Oh my goodness. Sometimes when it comes to arguing with a grown man, sometimes your masculinity comes out. Let's use Arlette for an example, right? Does Arlette give you masculine energy? Does Arlette even look like she gives you masculine energy when she's upset? I hate this notion that these women believe that femininity is only on the basis in which how they are treated. Like, For example, I'm only feminine. Like femininity is a switch that you can flick on and off. You're either feminine or you're not. It's not both ways. It doesn't work both ways. Men don't view you as such. If you think you're giving off feminine energy from this conversation alone, you're tone deaf. You know what I'm saying? You deserve to be on a planet by yourself. You're oblivious. This is aggression. This is masculine energy. In fact, she's giving off more masculine energy than Danny is. I'm just keeping in the beam from what I'm just observing, you know? And for you to think that, like, your femininity is based on whether or not how a man treats you. No, if you're feminine, you feminine 100% of the time. You know what I mean? Whether it's you're disrespectful, like whether it's an argument or whether it's an agreement, you're just feminine. Nothing about you gives femininity by yourself. Through this conversation, you're not soft, you're not warm, you're not approachable, you're not elegant. You know, you're combative, you're loud, you're obnoxious, you're impulsive, you're aggressive. You know what I mean? You speak like you have thick shoulders, bro. You know? So the oblivious attitude of thinking that a man is responsible for how feminine you are is such a huge disconnect from reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't make you masculine. It's either in you or it's not. It's kind of like, yo, you got that dog in you or you don't. You know what I'm saying? I always say there are people that act tough and people that are tough. And the difference is people that are tough don't say that they are. They just react. People that act tough talk about it. Women that are feminine don't have to tell you that they're feminine. They just are. Arlette is feminine. She just is. When you look at her, there's like a delicacy that comes with her. There's like an aura of just humility, class, grace, patience, love. It just gives softness. And that's what men are attracted to. And that's why Arlette is married. Okay, Chi-Chi? Choo-choo. Know what I mean? You've been on that single train forever. Choo-choo. And it's because you're giving off all the smoke of a train, of a choo-choo train. Like, niggas ain't trying to get on one knee and marry a linebacker. One more time. Let's listen to this explanation, man.
It's like when you have to go back and forth with a grown man, to some point your masculinity starts coming out because you feel defensive. So I don't like when men make me feel defensive to the point where my femininity is threatened and I can't just be feminine and calm and happy. Like, he likes a woman that, he even said it on the show, that is a little mean to him. I don't like that, because that right there puts me in a space that I don't like to be in, a space as a Black woman that I don't thrive in, having to survive or feel like I have to be combative.
Yo, she's dragging this. She's dragging this. That comment about him saying like, yo, I want to be a woman, I want to be with a woman that's a little mean to me, was tongue in cheek. He basically said, yo, I want a woman that's kind to the world, but she could be a little mean to me. That's how it came across. She's trying to paint the narrative as if this nigga's toxic. Like, he wants a woman that's going to argue. He wants a woman that's going to be mean so he could argue back and forth. When in all reality, it was an exchange of words. The man was having a conversation with her, and she got so triggered. And she was so impulsive to this ignorant trigger that had nothing to do with her in the first place. This is why I was like shadow boxing with a... I'm not even going to say it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was triggered by something that had nothing to do with her, which makes this whole ordeal that much more asinine. It had nothing to do with you. The bad wig thing had nothing to do because you had locks. You know what I'm saying? So he was simply having a conversation. He was simply having a conversation with you. And now you're trying to paint the narrative that he's toxic and he wants that toxic shit? Like, come on.
Right there puts me in a space that I don't like to be in.
It's going to be one of my longer videos.
A space as a Black woman that I don't thrive in, having to survive or feel like I have to
the
be
black card
or have to defend myself. I don't like that from a man, especially a Black man. I don't like it. So for me, it's a man that makes me feel safe, not just somebody who can protect me and fight, somebody who protects my feelings, my emotions, like all of those things. So it's like when you can't even just express yourself and a man take it in and receive it and comfort you, or just make you feel like, you know what, I understand where you come from. At least understanding. That's my attraction. A man's mind over how he looks.
And Danny, what's your type?
Well, since this was being overlooked, like I said, I like a woman's mindset who's allergic to giving up. It was just the first thing that I said. I like a woman that has words of affirmation, a woman that's consistently in your corner, because this world gets dark. I've been through a lot. I've been in situations where I'm by myself. I look to the left, I look to the right, nobody's there. You understand what I'm saying? So this next relationship, when I look to the left, I look to the right, nobody's there. I want to know that she's right behind me. She puts her hands on the shoulder and says, "Keep pushing, King." That's what I'm attracted to. I'm attracted to what she says. I'm attracted to her understanding my mission, my goal. Attraction, their physical attraction, is one of the last things on my list because I'm from Atlanta. All these women are beautiful. But what's in your mind? The first thing that opens up your mouth. How can we handle a situation when we are talking, when we are upset? Because most of the time, like how she is right now, if she gets upset, I'm not going to say anything because then it's going to seem like a back and forth. You understand what I'm saying? So
wants to be with
I
that.
like the inside of a woman, and that's what I stand on. All the relationships I've been in are because we have great conversations. I've been married before. Every time we got into a disagreement, we would be on the phone for like 4 and 5 hours figuring it out. That's why we got married in the first place, because we understood how to figure things out. When you get into a relationship with me, the one thing that I do get complimented on is the way I communicate and how I listen, because I understand. I've built organizations that have 15 to 20 people. You don't do that if you can't listen, you can't understand with everybody. I've been prophesied to be a preacher. I just preached a week before, right after we came out of there, at a brand new church. You can't do that if you don't listen, if you don't understand. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, I like to have fun. Yes, I like to joke. So she definitely had to have a sense of humor. But when it comes down to the nitty and gritty, my type is from the inside out. And I don't budge on that. You understand what I'm saying? But if we, that's it. Like, we got to listen.
It's so funny you say you listen and you know, all these things, but when I was expressing how I felt, one of your responses was, "I see why you're single."
Bro, like, it's so crazy. Like, why does the narrative have, like, after everything he just said just now, where the man got shamed by you because you felt like he was coming at a woman's aesthetics, he's breaking it down, basically saying it was never about looks in the first place. The comment that I made, y'all took it and y'all spun it. But the kind of man that I am, I'm interested in a woman that's gonna love me, support me, be there for me, someone that doesn't give up. I love a woman from inside out. Her first rebuttal is to go back to her feelings about something that got nothing to do with what he just said, which after he explains how great of a listener he is. This woman is horrible, bro. This woman is horrible. Oh my
you say
God.
You listen and you know, all these things, but when I was expressing how I felt,
we go back to
one
her
of your
feelings.
responses was, "I see why you're single." How would you like it if I said, "I see why you're divorced. I see why you're single"?
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
With the back and forth and
wow.
like, it's like you have to one up and you have to win.
Like, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? He has to one up, he has to win. What is, like, at this point, she's just having an argument just for the sake of having an argument, son. Like, that whole soliloquy that he just went through, that's the first thing that's on your mind?
That right there is something that is absolutely like such a turnoff to me as a woman. And that's the same exact thing that you're doing now, the same exact thing you did on the show. You have to one up and you have to win. That right there was the reason I didn't like you. And that right there is the reason why I wasn't attracted to you. And then on top of that, it's just like, look at what you just said. Do you hear what you just said? Do you hear how powerful the woman that you want and how you want to feel sounds? But you went on the show and you were being a funny guy. Even though you have a personality, there's such a way to turn it off and on that is still being conveyed and communicated through being serious or being standing on business about what you want. Nobody knows what you wanted. All we're gonna remember is the funny guy. Like, it's like, are you being a comedian or you're here to find love? Like, you have to find a balance. Life is about balance at the end of the day. You can squint your face up all you want to what I'm saying, and it also goes to what I'm saying. Like, you missed the one up. Go ahead.
Let me go be all the way. When I just said what I said, that's why you sing it. That was just me giving up. 2, I'm gonna be all the way 100 with y'all. When the first girl popped my balloon, when I said I didn't want to skydive and stuff like that, I was done. We could have stopped the show right then and there. Like, that's when I first came out. I seen her. I said, oh, that's who I want. She was the first one to pop before I even got to the bag wig stuff. So it's like I didn't care what I said then. You understand what I'm saying? So this just being all the way 100 with you. So it's like, okay, yeah, I can be a comedian or whatever, but part of my personality is humor. You know, a wise man can fake being dumb, but a dumb man can't fake being wise. Sarcasm is a form of...
Sheesh. Sheesh. Yes. Yes. A wise man can't play stupid. A stupid man can't play smart. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, at the end of the day, I use my sense of humor in a way that shows like my intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about, man?
Part of my personality is humor. You know, a wise man can fake being dumb, but a dumb man can't fake being wise.
No.
Sarcasm is a form of intelligence. If you don't get that, I mean, that's just on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you go back and watch the first show, I'm asking, like, what progressed you in a relationship that's going to make this work? We never got to this point. You understand what I'm saying? So that when she said, is she your type? After you popped the balloon, you not my type. But they just kept coming down. So it's like, okay, this how I act when there's nothing there. If we just friends or I don't even know you and stuff like that, I'm just not going to let you just come and say whatever you want to say. I don't care.
But you don't see a problem with that?
Sweetheart, at that point, that point in situation...
But you just said, but listen to what you're saying. Like, you couldn't even respect the women's time in the line.
Sweetheart.
You said you just said when the sky
Bro,
was
can
like,
he finish?
Sweetheart, stop sweethearting me.
Can he finish? Like, yo, can he finish getting through a point without you interrupting, son? How many times has this man interrupted her? Let him finish his point. This is like so fresh. I'm about to super sim this whole thing, bro. Like, she's pissing me off now, bro. And it's just, again, with the aggressive, masculine linebacker energy. And this is the same woman that talks about, like, I want a man that knows how to lead, that wants to lead, a man that allows me to live in my femininity, bro. You got the aura of a bull. And you're curious or confused as to why you're single? Like, who wants to deal with this?
You just said when the sky was like, I know, sweetheart, stop sweethearting me. Thank you. You just said when the first woman who was your type, the one you want to pop the balloon, you could stop the show right there. I didn't care. And then you took it as to go back and forth and just whatever. You didn't care. I didn't. You pop my balloon. I don't like you. Even if somebody doesn't think you're their type and you still think they're beautiful, you can't, like, none of y'all was my type. When y'all got up to my blind ass.
Woman.
When y'all got to my blind ass, none of y'all was my type, but I didn't sit there and feel the need to make you like whatever. I don't care.
You couldn't. I complimented every single woman down the line.
You couldn't what?
I compliment. You can't make me feel like I don't know what you was about to say, but I complimented.
That's what I'm saying. You couldn't.
Woman.
You just have to win. Like,
oh
you see what I'm saying? Like,
gosh.
you gotta come back to everything. Sassy ass.
I complimented.
That's crazy. And she said it again.
Watch your mouth when you talk to me, Shawty. Like, you getting out.
I said sassy. I ain't call you a dyke like you wanted to call me.
Wow. He used dyke as a reference. The man said that calling a man sassy is equivalent to a man referring to a woman as a, you know what I'm saying? And she just threw it back as if, I'm not going to call you a dyke like you tried to call me. It just shows you the low IQ of this woman. Like, she couldn't rock with that one. We saw the exchange. It was right in front of us. He used it as a reference, and then you tried to accuse him of calling you that when he didn't. And then once again, you call him a sassy ass. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's a substitution for bate man. Bate boy. You know what I mean? Women aren't slick with that. There's nothing sassy or feminine or giving off any type of, interest of the same sex context in this man. There's none of that, but yet she continues to poke the bear by using that word only because she can't use GAY anymore. It's so crazy the games that they try to play, bro.
You talk to me, Shawty. Like,
he get fed.
Sassy. I ain't call you a dyke like you wanted to call me.
All right.
You compare sassy to
dyke. Okay. All right, guys. So
Hey man, look, I'm be dead ass serious. Like, yo, Chi, like, watch how you talk to me, Shawty. Like, you
No,
getting
you need to
beside
watch how
yourself,
you
cuz.
want me to watch how I talk to you, but you're not
He
talking
getting
like you're
tight.
not talking the way a respectful man talks, but you want me to respect you. It goes both ways. You see what I'm saying? Like you feel like because you from Atlanta, oh shorty, like, oh, when y'all could have just did this, y'all could have just that. Oh, you popped my balloon. I ain't gonna da 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 da. Like, take responsibility for yourself. Stop worrying about me and my responses to you as a person.
So everyone that comes on the show, there's a reason why they're coming on the show.
Let's wrap this. Let's wrap this, bro.
People come on the show because they are single, right? So that question when they ask why are you single or whatever, it hurts so much, so many people, like it gets to them. But the reality is you're single, and everybody has issues within themselves that they need to work on, right? Everybody does. And I feel like a lot of people do not want to admit that. So they use a different type of method to back away from it. No, the reality is everybody has to work on things. And if people are telling you something, right, that they can see how you act, sometimes you need to think and
Danny's checked out.
and feel kind of
Danny's checked out
yourself. And maybe that's why things are happening this way. Or maybe that's why I'm single. And a lot of people don't want to get to that stage because they don't want to self-reflect. So you have to start reflecting on yourself. So there you go.
He's talking to one person. You know what I mean? He's talking to one person when he's talking about self-reflection. Being able to look at yourself in the mirror and see your hypocrisy, to see the double standard privilege, to see your beauty privilege, to also see your ignorance. You have to take a moment to step out of your own feelings and look at yourself and say, okay, where did I go wrong? He's talking to her, and I don't think she realizes that this is directed towards her.
Truth of the matter is, everybody needs to work on themselves. If you're looking for love, you have to. And for instance, right, me and my wife, we adapt to each other. We're always adapting, right? And we're always working through things. We are one. We're not two, we're one. That's what marriage is. You come together to be one, right? There's things that when we started dating, there's things that she did that would annoy me. There's things that I did that would annoy her, right? But it's not like, oh, we are at war with each other. We're trying to find a peace to balance each other out and adapt. We adapt to each other and we work through things. And I feel like a lot of people don't want to work through things. They just want to go, just start arguing and just, that's where we go wrong. So we need to understand each other. I hope that you both can be able to find peace, with each other. I hope you both can speak to each other after this podcast. I do not like when people get super annoyed with each other and they
arguing.
Yeah, it's like that's not what we want to see on the show.
Not what we're here for,
right?
Either.
Right. I feel like you're both great people individually. So, what do you both have to say to each other? Now that we're about to end this podcast.
Do you want to continue, Danny, or do you?
Well,
What?
if we could take away something from this, I want you to feel like, don't think communication or expression from a man is like combative. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like when you listen and you allow me to talk to you, you're very beautiful. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're intelligent, and I know that you are listening to every word and taking it in. So if I'm not being defensive or trying to explain myself, I'm just talking to you, just communicating with you. I think that we could have got further in the situation. So I think you're a very beautiful woman. Good luck with your podcast. I'm going to support it. You wouldn't be able to stop me from supporting it. To be honest with you, you have a great personality, and I feel
taking the high road
that moving forward in life,
bigger man,
is big things for both of us. Especially for you, because you got that fire in you. You're a warrior. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I look at
none of those traits are feminine, by the way. Like a woman with fire, a woman that resembles a warrior. Like it's like she wants to be Xena so bad, bro. None of them are feminine traits, by the way. But it's speaking to her chakra.
you like a superwoman. You understand? You in the gym, you going crazy, and tell you I got a circuit training. I'll probably outwork you anyway. But
John,
that's
one up me. Here he goes. Like,
no, yeah. But we get to understand each other's personalities a little bit better. And if you approach any situation with love, then the personalities is like, okay, you have a coming with a different understanding. Okay, that's just him. He gonna say some stuff like that. But that's the point of me when I said the jump. When you approach a situation where you're allergic to giving up, I'm not coming at you to try to figure out why we not together. I'm coming at you to figure out, okay, what we need to figure out so we can stay together. And that's my mindset. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I think that if we had gotten to something and we both came out with that understanding, then we'll be able to move further a lot faster.
This man is deep.
Right.
Gigi?
I agree with everything that he said, and
Because he's
just
complimentary.
really wish things were not said the way they were said. And I do feel like after getting to know you that you are more of a serious person with a silly personality, and I get it.
How do you realize that at the end of the conversation, bro, in which you gave him the finger, you cut him off repeatedly, you yelled at him, you called him sassy. Now all of a sudden, you have praise for him after all that? Like, this is the fake shit. Like, bro, read right through this fake shit. She's only taking this route because she gave the floor to Danny and Danny gave her praise. Again, just fueling the delusion, which like the what's the reference I'm trying to make? Like just the bubble. She lives in a bubble, bro. Danny said everything that she wanted to hear, and now she's changed her tone. She's been a hypocrite right in front of her eyes. It's now you're realizing that he's a serious person, and this, that, and the third, after you blatantly just disrespected him for 40 minutes. Like, what?
And I do feel like after getting to know you that you are more of a serious person with a silly personality, and I get it. We don't know if your friends think you funny. You said you're funny.
The world
I
said
think
that
you
was fun.
do have. I do think that you have a fun personality, and I get where you're coming from, especially with the backstory, because everybody has a story. His story, her story. The reason we are who we are is because of the stories and the things that we've been through. So I completely understand that. And I just wish that, things weren't so heated. Because I feel like, just like BM said, it's like when we do get agitated or irritated, we respond differently. With me, I did get agitated and irritated, not just because of you talking to me, but what you were saying to other people. So I feel like when it did get to me, I was like, oh, he about to go back and forth with me. And it was just that instance, that one. It wasn't you, because then everyone's like, oh, he was on this and this. And I was like, I don't have time to watch all this stuff because I don't care to get to, like, I'm knowing you now. So knowing you now, I know that you are a strong person. You are a resilient person. You're somebody who's striving for things, and you're scaling businesses and your life and all those things. So it's like getting to know you. I feel like you are a good person. We could be good friends. And that's why sometimes getting to know a person as a friend is how you probably find your lover, because they are supposed to be your best friend. But it's like you're not going to get to know that after saying, so why did you pop your balloon? She asked me that, and it was like, oh, like I can't. It's like you really can't get deep because the question is, why did you pop? And it was okay. He talked about wigs. Like, well, what we do to you? And that's just my response as a woman. And you'll probably hear a lot of women say that, but also you got to
No,
take
you
in what a man is
won't.
saying. So he's
No,
like,
you
listen,
won't.
I'm not coming for all women. I'm just saying, like, I can't deal with that. You got a whole backstory, you know, Peruvian, you know, all types of things. So you have a story. So understanding your story, I understand you more. Getting to talk to you, I know that you are a serious person and you're not trying to be a funny guy. You really are just being yourself. So it's like, I don't fault people for being themselves. It's either I accept you or I just let you be. Because I'm not in the business of changing people. So I love who you are. Keep being yourself. Keep striving. And I do see a lot of great things. So we had a whole conversation waiting for us to start. So actually getting to know Dan, I feel like he actually is a good, genuine guy. And I feel like he's going to find his woman through her being his friend. Because a woman is probably going to take a lot of the things you say wrong because of your banter. And a friend wouldn't. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like a friend would not. So I feel like Danny is not. He's been married before. It takes a lot to be married. Okay, let's just get there. So having that commitment, at least I know you can commit to something, just like you're committing to yourself and your career and the things you want. So I just feel like overall, like, just keep being you. I mean, I can't fault you for being yourself.
Yeah.
Even though she's faulted him for him being himself this entire podcast, when he was live on the show, if she was just so accepting of him being himself, she would have never called him sassy in the first place. Like, this is just prototypical fake bullshit energy. You know what I mean? She's taking this high ground because, and mind you, if you paid attention, BM asked her to go first and she passed the baton to Danny, which pretty much implicated she didn't know which route she wanted to go. She didn't know which route she wanted to go, so she let Danny go first just to sort of read the room. And since Danny gave her nothing but praise coming from a genuine space, she now decided to match because she realized, okay, he's not going tit for tat. And she didn't want to obviously come across as being a bitch, even though that's what she's pretty much been this entire conversation. If we're just being honest, like, I'm drained. This is the end of the video. Appreciate you guys. Let me know in the comment section what you thought. But again, women like this who think that their femininity is based off of how a man treats them, they can't be saved. The ones that think that only attractive people are entitled to preference and that men can't have opinions on women, then who can have an opinion on a woman? If men can, who can? What, no one? Because that's the privilege that beauty allows you to live with? Who else gets to live in a reality where they think they're above critique? Above criticism? What other species thinks like that? Just one. Just one. I'm gonna holler at you guys. Appreciate you guys for rocking out with me and making it towards the end. This woman drained me, bro. This was draining, but also entertaining to really listen to. But man, y'all let me know in the comment section what you thought. I could not last a day with Choo Choo.